Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Now, if you're a homeowner in New York State, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to walk through a clear, straightforward guide to lowering your property taxes. We'll be breaking down the state's official rules, regulations, and some really important recent updates so you can confidently secure the tax relief you are absolutely entitled to. Okay, let's dive right in. Let me ask you a serious question. Are you leaving money on the table? Because every single year, eligible homeowners miss out on significant property tax relief simply because they just don't understand the application process, or maybe they aren't aware of recent changes in the law. We're talking about the STAR program here, which is designed by the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance to literally be the ultimate money-saving solution for your school property taxes. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is STAR? Well, it stands for the School Tax Relief Program. It's a dedicated state initiative that provides eligible homeowners with direct financial relief, specifically on their school property taxes. But here's the catch. It only applies to your primary residence, and the state generally defines primary residence as the home where you live for more than half the year. You can only have one primary residence, and usually properties owned by corporations, partnerships, or LLCs just aren't eligible, unless we're talking about a farm dwelling. Yeah, the sheer scale of the relief available is kind of incredible. Just look at this number, $88,500 for the 2026 to 2027 school year. That is the statutory base amount used to calculate the enhanced STAR exemption. Now, to be clear, that's not a direct check in your pocket, but it is the massive base valuation the state uses before applying local equalization rates to figure out your tax savings. For context, the basic STAR base amount sits at $30,000. So seeing these numbers really proves the undeniable value of what we're about to unpack.
All right, moving into Section 1, Basic versus Enhanced STAR. Let's figure out which one you qualify for.
So the program is split into two main buckets. Basic STAR is available to all eligible property owners with absolutely zero age restrictions. Enhanced STAR, though, offers a significantly higher benefit. To qualify for the enhanced tier, you do have to meet an age requirement. But here's a fantastic recent update. Beginning in 2026, only one resident owner of the property needs to be at least 65 years old by December 31st of the benefit year. It completely disregards the relationship of the owners now. As long as one resident owner hits that age milestone, boom, you meet the criteria. Of course, age isn't the whole story, right? There are strict income caps you've got to know about. For the basic STAR credit, the income limit is $500,000 or less. If you happen to be on the legacy basic exemption, that cap is $250,000. Now, for the enhanced tier, the income limit is much tighter. It's $110,750 for 2026, and that bumps up to $113,550 for 2027. So, how does the state calculate this? They look at the combined income of only the resident owners and their spouses who actually live on the property. And remember, they are looking at your tax returns from 2 years prior to the benefit year. Next up, Section 2, the credit versus the legacy exemption. Let's talk about how you actually receive this relief.
If you've been getting STAR since 2015 or earlier on the same property, you might be familiar with the legacy exemption. That's a direct reduction printed right there on your school tax bill. However, that exemption program is completely closed to new applicants now. The new standard is the STAR credit. With the credit, you pay your school taxes in full, and then the state sends you a direct check or a direct deposit. And here's why the credit is actually a really good thing. By law, the STAR credit can increase by up to 2% annually. The legacy exemption savings, those are capped and literally cannot exceed whatever you saved the prior year. But before you grab your laptop and rush to update your account, listen to this part very carefully. Once you switch from the legacy exemption program over to the credit program, you cannot switch back. It is a one-way street. It's a permanent transition. Also, if you're paying your school taxes through a mortgage escrow account, it's super important that you contact your mortgage lender to let them know you've made the switch, just so they can adjust your escrow calculations and everything lines up perfectly. All right, Section 3, Step-by-Step Application Guide. Let's get you set up to actually apply. I always tell people, be fully prepared before you even open your web browser. We all know government forms wait for no one, right? So here is your exact checklist. You're going to need the names and social security numbers for all owners and their spouses. You need the exact name of the school district where your home is located, the approximate date you bought the property, and your federal or state income tax returns from 2 years prior. So for example, if you're registering for the 2026 benefit year, pull out your 2024 returns. Okay, you've got your documents in hand. Let's walk through how this works in the portal. Step 1. Log in or create your individual online services account on the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance website. Step 2. Click the Services menu and select Real Property Tax. Step 3. Access the Homeowner Benefit Portal. Step 4. From the Actions drop-down menu, choose to either register as a new homeowner or just hit Switch to Credit if you're moving over from the legacy exemption. Oh, and hey, if you aren't a computer person, you can actually just register by phone. Simply call 518-457-2036. While you're in that homeowner benefit portal, I highly suggest taking this pro tip to heart. Go ahead and enroll in Star Credit Direct Deposit. Waiting for a physical check in the mail can be stressful, right? They get delayed, they get lost, it's a whole thing. Direct deposit is simply the fastest and easiest way to get your money. Just keep in mind, to guarantee timely delivery right to your bank account, you've got to enroll at least 15 business days before your local school tax due date. Bringing us to Section 4, Deadlines and Final Disclaimers. Let's cover a few important final details. So, New York has actually been working really hard to simplify this whole program, especially for seniors. Check out this timeline. Starting in 2025, if you aren't required to file income tax returns, you won't need to submit manual income worksheets anymore, assuming you've proven your eligibility for 3 consecutive years. Then, looking ahead to 2026, we see that relaxed age rule we talked about, where only one owner needs to be 65. But honestly, the absolute best update for 2026 is the auto upgrade. If you were a basic Star Credit recipient and you turned 65, the state will automatically upgrade you to the Enhanced Star Credit if you meet the income limits. You literally don't even have to lift a finger. Now, when it comes to deadlines, things do get a little tricky because it's very localized. The deadline to switch to the Star Credit varies entirely by your county and sometimes even by your local assessor's specific calendar. You can register anytime during the year, but timing really matters. If you register before your local deadline, you get the credit this year. If you apply after the deadline but before December 31st, you're going to receive the legacy exemption this year, and the credit won't kick in until next year. And don't worry, if there's a difference in value, the state will just add it to your check next year. As we wrap up our explainer today, I do have to give a quick professional reminder. While everything we've covered is a comprehensive breakdown based on the official New York State Department of Taxation and Finance guidelines, you know how things go. Tax laws, base amounts, and eligibility rules are subject to change by the state legislature, so always make sure to verify the most current and specific information directly with the NYS Department of Taxation and Finance or your local assessor's office. So it all comes down to this. Are you going to log into the homeowner benefit portal today, or are you going to let the state keep your money? Whether you're buying your very first home, getting ready to enter that enhanced tier, or just switching over to direct deposit, all the tools you need are right there at your fingertips. Do not leave your tax relief behind. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and happy saving.